What's going on, guys? So here in this box is a PS3 Slim and 10 games that I bought from Goodwill. And if you're not familiar, Goodwill actually has an online auction site, kind of like eBay. So basically I bid on this thing, I won it, and I paid about 112 bucks including tax, shipping, and everything like that. So it's actually not too bad of a price. 112 bucks is less than just the console on eBay if you were to look on eBay and search PS3 Slim. So I'm pretty excited to open this thing up, and I'm hoping it works because this thing technically is untested. I think the description was a little bit confusing, but from what I gathered, it's untested. So we'll see if this works. I think from a PS3 Slim, I have a pretty good chance, but we'll see. And it's probably hard to tell right now, but this box is like 2 feet tall. I don't know why the box is so large, but I had to move my camera position up super high, and it did have a label on top, but I ripped that off for obvious reasons. So yeah, like I said, PS3 Slim from Goodwill, 10 games. I don't remember what games they have with it. I do remember Modern Warfare 2 being one of the games, I think. Let's go ahead and open this package up and see what's inside. Alright guys, so we got it sliced open. Let's go ahead and open up the flaps and see what's inside. So I actually don't remember if this comes with a controller or not. I know it doesn't come with the power cords, I don't think, but I don't remember about the controller. So there is a ton of packing paper in here. This box could have literally been like a third of the size. So that's an interesting way to pack it. I mean, you guys can see that, right? I'm about halfway down through the box, and I finally got to some of the materials. And basically, they rubber banded everything together and then wrapped brown paper around everything, which is honestly not terrible. Like it could have been better, but could have been worse. I've definitely seen worse on eBay and GameStop. But yeah, we got our Slim and a bunch of games in here. So let me go ahead and pull this out, and we'll take a look at the actual stuff that's in the box in a better position than in this giant box. Alright guys, so here we are. So it actually does not come with a controller, which I knew when I bought it, but I just had just forgotten. So that $112 price is not quite as good as I thought it was. It's still a good price, considering it has 10 games with it. But yeah, I mean, basically, let me just show you this thing. So we got supposedly 10 games wrapped around in rubber bands with the console. Now, at first glance, the console doesn't look to be in bad condition. Let's go ahead and cut these rubber bands out of the way. So let's take a look at these games. So we have Army of Two. Obviously, these are all PS3 games. At least I hope so. Wouldn't be surprised if Goodwill shipped me games to the wrong console. Bejeweled 3. Got the case and the manual. We got Angry Birds Trilogy with an interesting. Oh, okay. So they just left the manual in there, but no cover art or anything. Okay, we got Just Dance 3. Alright, got the game in there in the manual. We have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, so that's the... Let's see if this has any scratches on it. Hopefully not. The two games I've looked at the back so far, they have some smudges and stuff, but it's a little bit difficult to scratch Blu-ray discs too bad. So here is Lego Dimensions for the PS3. Never played this game. I don't know what it is. It looks like it's Batman. Is that like Harry Potter or The Hobbit or something? Interesting. Got FIFA 17. Kind of funny. This game went for $28 back when it was purchased, but it's worth like $2 now. Oh, I guess I should look and make sure the game is actually in there. Yep, there it is. We also got NHL 15. There's the game for that. Got Assassin's Creed 3. This is actually one of my favorite games on the 360. It's the one Assassin's Creed that I've actually played all the way through. I've played a lot of Assassin's Creed games and I never actually played. A lot of them I don't actually finish, which is just my fault, but it looks like it's a GameStop edition. I didn't know there was a Assassin's Creed 3 GameStop edition for exclusive single-player missions. There's the game and a code. I guess if somebody wants to use that code, if it hasn't been used, go ahead and try it out. I've also got Fast and Furious Showdown with a disc. This one looks pretty dirty. Man, that disc does not look great. Hopefully it plays better than it looks, but I don't have high hopes for that. And here's the console. So, doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's got a lot of dirt and scuffs on top. Nothing that can't be wiped off, but, oh, actually I just wiped this part, and it's pretty dusty and dirty. Hopefully that's not indicative of what's inside the console, but it probably is, to be honest. So we have 3 rubber feet. Looks like our warranty void sticker is still in place. but we are missing one of the rubber feet. Man, I feel like every time I buy a PS3, it's missing one of the rubber feet, which is kind of just an annoyance. It's not a big deal, but it's just annoying. But yeah, I mean, let's look at the back of this thing and see. We've got a CECH 3001A. I mean, it looks like all the ports are intact just fine. This side looks about the same as the other sides. You know, nothing special. Yeah, so let's go ahead and take this over to my monitor, plug it in, see if it works. I'm really hoping it works. You know, if it doesn't, then I mean, it's worth something, but not a whole lot. And you know, I have a pretty high hopes because the PS3 Slims, from what I remember, don't have a high rate of failure, at least not as high of a rate of failure as the original fat ones. But we'll see, obviously. I'll have to use my own controller and my own cords and stuff because obviously this does not have any cords with it. But let's go ahead and plug this thing in and see if it works. Alright guys, so here's the console. Let me just show it to you a little bit closer up. So as you can see, it's pretty dusty and dirty. Got some scratches on top. Not sure what that is. I mean, most of it looks like it'll come off with like a wet rag or a Clorox wipe or something. But let's go ahead and plug it in and see if it works. So I haven't plugged it in yet because once I plug it in, it'll show a red light down here if it is working. So I kind of wanted to save the suspense. Alright, that's a good sign. Got a red light. Now let's see if it actually turns on. Green light, that's a good sign. No games inside. Pretty often, or pretty recently, I've gotten some good luck where I turn it on and there's a game already inside. Now let's see if this thing... Nice. We got a Sony logo. It is booting up. Nice, nice. That's what you like to see. Now let me go ahead and plug my controller in. Alright, so I got my controller plugged in. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing up and running. And we'll test out our games and stuff. And again, these cords are my cords. They didn't come with the console. The console was just the console and games. Kind of weird that they would have gotten the console and games, but no power cable, no HDMI cable, no controller, that kind of thing. It asked me if I had HDMI, and I said yes, and it just disappeared on me. So hopefully that's not a bad sign. Oh, there we go. So it says the system was not turned off properly the last time it was used. File system may be corrupt. If the file system is corrupted, it may take 2 to 3 hours to complete. Alright, well, I guess we'll see if it starts back up. Alright, so it's checking and restoring the file system. Hopefully that means it's not corrupted and it'll just go to this 100% bar and be done. But I'll come back once this is done and we'll see if it's booted up all the way. Alright guys, so it is booting back up. And it looks like it's working. Nice. All loaded up and everything. Does look like it's working, and it looks like it was reset because I just made my user 1. Nothing else on here. Cool. I wonder what software version it's on. Alright, so it's on 4.87, which I believe is one of the most recent ones. So it says 298, so it's probably got a 320 gigabyte hard drive in there, which is not bad. And yeah, so I guess let's go ahead and test out these games and see if these games work. So I mean, Modern Warfare 2 is probably the most wanted game on this, list of games I have here. Let's go ahead and try this out. Alright, so the moment of truth. So it did accept the disc. At first I didn't put it in all the way and it kind of felt like it wasn't going to accept it, but looks like it's working now. And here we are. It's loading up. And I guess I'll come back if it loads up all the way. Alright, so Modern Warfare 2 is working, which is a good sign. And there we go. So Modern Warfare 2 is working out. Let's go ahead and quit this game and we'll try out the next game. Alright, so next up we got Lego Dimensions. This PS3 seems to pull in the discs extra slow, but I think that's just how all PS3 Slims are. Alright, so Lego Dimensions is loading up, but it told me I had to install like 500 megabytes of data onto the system for some reason. So that is what we are currently doing. Alright guys, so here it is. It did boot up. So let's go back to the main menu. And I want to try out a couple more games, and I also want to try the internet and see if we can connect online. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in my Ethernet cable, and we'll see if we can connect. So I'm not sure if it's going to pop up and tell me that I have an update or something. Let me just go down here and try to update and it should, where is it at? There we go. System update. So apparently I'm on the latest version. I could have sworn there was something after 4.87, maybe not. It does look like it at least checked, so that tells me that it's probably connected to the internet. Maybe not, because that did not load. Let's go to our network settings and maybe do a full setup of this real quick. Alright, so I went and actually checked and everything succeeded. So let's go back and I'll check my system update one more time. Still says it's the latest version. But alright, so we're connected to the internet now. Let's go ahead and eject this game, and I want to try out like 2 more games maybe. Obviously I'm going to try out all these games at some point, but I'm not going to try them all out on camera. Let's try out Assassin's Creed 3, and I want to try out Fast and Furious because that disc looked extremely dirty and dusty, so I'm not sure if that game will work. But Assassin's Creed 3, let's see if this one will pop up. Alright, so here we go. I looked at the bottom of the disc and it looked like a little bit dirty. To be honest, all the games I looked at so far look a little bit dirty on the bottom. I don't know if that's just because they've been sitting around in a warehouse or something, but I mean, so far so good. They're all booting up. Alright, so Assassin's Creed 3 is booting up, and you can see this little tiny loading bar that's moving super slow. I don't know if it's trying to connect to the internet or what, but it's yeah, it's a pretty slow loading bar. Alright, so after like 15 minutes of Assassin's Creed doing whatever it was doing, it has loaded up and is working, and yes, this is working fine. Last but not least, I want to try out Fast and Furious. Like I said, that's the one game that looked pretty dang dirty, so I'm hoping that it works. Not sure this game is worth a whole ton, so I don't know if I'm going to lose out on a whole lot if it doesn't work, but still is not ideal to have a non-working game. Alright, so here it is, and you can actually see on top it's got some, like, I don't know what that is, sticky stuff or something, and on the back it's just like really grimy and dirty, but you know, we'll try it out and see. I have a feeling it'll probably still work, but you know, it's still needs a good cleaning. Even the case inside is a little bit dirty. Yep, so I just loaded up Fast and Furious Showdown. Alright, so what do you know, it is working. Got Fast and Furious Challenge Profile Bonus. I'm gonna check out this game and see what it is. Alright, so it's still working. Trying to play this one hand right now, but man, the steering is extremely sensitive. But yeah, I mean, the game is working. Alright guys, so I had finished filming this video, and I went back and kind of just looked at every game just to make sure they looked okay. And I came across Bejeweled 3, and I looked at the back of the game and realized it is completely jacked up. So let me just show you guys. So look at that. I can't even tell what that is, but let me see if my camera will focus on it. It's like little tiny dots all over the back of the disc on one side of it, and it's like if you run your finger over them, you can feel them. It's kind of like, I really don't know how to describe it, but it's like that part of the disc has been scraped up somehow. But I really want to try out this game now and see if it works, because I will be amazed if this game works. I don't know how it would. I mean, maybe it'll start up, but you know, I figure it'll at least stop working at some point. But let's see if it actually boots up. So it recognizes the game and it's booting up now. Alright guys, so it did boot up. I don't really know how, because that part of the disc is just basically destroyed. Now, like I said, I imagine it'll stop working at some point, but I'm still just amazed it's even made it this far, because that disc just looked so jacked up on that one side of the disc. But I mean, like 5 minutes in, it's still working. I mean, yeah, we're on the main menu and everything. It's wild. All the other games looked okay except for Fast and Furious, like I showed you. It was pretty grimy and dirty and dusty on the back, and even some sticky stuff on the front and back a little bit, so I'll be surprised if that game works long term. But all the other games looked okay. So, you know, overall, it's not a bad haul. $112 for the PS3 Slim console plus 10 games. I mean, if you look at eBay, just the PS3 console alone probably goes for around 100 or so. You know, if you have a PS3 Slim plus a controller plus the cords, it goes for like 150 if you're a good seller. And you got 10 games to add on to that, and I actually looked them up, and FIFA 17, NHL 15, Angry Birds, and Fast and Furious each go for almost $15, which is to my surprise, because I thought the 2 sports games would be like $1 or $2, and the rest of the games would be like $5 or $10. But those 4 games are actually the most valuable. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely let me know down below what else you want me to buy from Goodwill. There's so much stuff on Goodwill. I really did not realize I had so much, but there's like hundreds of auctions ending every day for consoles and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.